chapter house. So they took me across the stage that's been put up in St. Paul's Cathedral, ready for the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra this evening. It's beautiful. There's candles everywhere and there's waiters with champagne and it's just gorgeous. We're going to have dinner in the nave, apparently. So
very nice.
Yeah, it's so fun.
That sounds very nice. Yeah, sounds a lot better than my beans on toast.
I bet that's not what you had.
I haven't even had dinner yet. I'm still in the office, so it probably will be because Fraser's out at wine tasting. Yeah.
Well, I had to have a stress chocolate. I had to have a twirl because I went to the train station and it said there's a tree down and no trains until 9 o'clock tonight. So like, that's it, chocolate then.
Chocolate, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
That takes away all the pain,
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. So yeah, gosh. Well, so is it James's company that's doing that?
No, it's another law firm.
Right. Oh, so with the oh, so he's being schmoozed then.
Yes. I've got to show you out the window because look how cool this is. This is my view. Look at that. Can you see St. Paul's?
That's
fab.
Isn't that crazy?
Nice. Yeah.
Amazing.
Like seeing that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how old this room is here, but there's a lot of very old
stuff.
Masters. Lots of old stuff, including me, actually.
We're in the right place then, so you're fine.
Oh,
that's brilliant. Well, that's all right then. And now do you feel like a celeb? That's obviously how like for the big like Taylor Swift feels when she enters a building, she gets whooshed away somewhere else.
It was like that. At least I wasn't like in a laundry van or anything. But as I approached the steps, they said, "Oh, are you Michelle? Nicholas is waiting for you. Come this way." And my husband is normally like the celeb. He's like, "Excuse me? What am I, chopped liver?"
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's good. Keeps him in his place.
Indeed.
So, well, thank you for making the extra effort to go across town as well. And I was going to do a diary check with you, but just to check it is the right day and the right hour.
Yeah, because I've tried to do this 3 times, haven't I? I think.
Yes,
I'm ready.
Yeah, Michelle sent me a text saying, "I'm sort of ready and got everything organized." And I'm like, "You're a month early, but thank you." Yes, so
Better than being late.
Yes, exactly. Today's the day. So I've had the pleasure of meeting Michelle a few times over the last year. I think we first met at one of the events.
It was a stylist, wasn't it?
Something like that, stylist. And there was the Fizz one, and there's all these, our year of On the Road. So there were some good things that come out of that, like meeting Michelle. And Michelle's had an amazing late in start career, would it be fair to say?
I think it would be fair.
Yes, and I thought everybody would just be amazed to hear just what you can do if you just put your mind to it. Might not get you into St. Paul's all the time, but you have been doing some fabulous things. So I've been enjoyed hearing your adventures, and I think everybody else would. I would be inspired by what you've been doing and the things that you've taken on as well. So it's great to see that these things are possible, and we shouldn't just think because we're past a certain age that nobody will want us and they just want to put us out to pasture. Just not true.
Well, look at you, Sarah. You've done the same thing. You've created this incredible company in your midlife too. You've completely pivoted.
That's true. I often forget that, but I think yours sounds much more exciting. Yeah, much more. So, right, Martina's going to
grill me.
Grill you.
Yes. Interviewing the interviewer. Okay, so just tell us, Michelle, a little bit about your past, what your career journey was, and kind of what led you into podcasting eventually, because I know that's not where you started out.
Definitely wasn't. No. I did start out as a voice actor. I've been a voice actor for nearly 20 years now. And that really came about because I moved to the States and somebody just said, "Oh my gosh, you have such a cute voice. You should like totally do voiceovers." So I'm like, why not then? Why not? So I did a little bit of training in New York and, it did fill a niche, if you like. I was living in Philadelphia and then working really regularly as a voice actor. And we moved from the States to Singapore, took my booth with me. And I've been doing audiobooks and corporate work and commercials and stuff for years and years. But I haven't done a podcast, and I'm okay at editing, but multi-track is a very different thing. And the podcast came about really because I moved to a new area. It was a new time in my life. I just moved back to London area, and I met a neighbour, and she was facing an empty nest like I was. And we were like, oh gosh, our last one is about to leave. I feel so adrift. I feel so weirdly like I've lost my purpose a bit. And COVID hit, and we started, when it was allowed, meeting in the garden and laughing a lot. And our adult kids actually said, oh my gosh, you two, you just laugh a lot and you talk about midlife. Why don't you make a podcast out of it? And that's why we became Two Women Chatting, because that's basically what it is on the tin.
Oh, amazing. No, that's brilliant. Being able to do what you love for an actual job, be able to just chat with your friends. It sounds perfect. So what kind of inspired the midlife topics? Was that something that was just coming up in conversation a lot with the two of you, and that's how it all came about?
Yeah, well, I think, it's obviously better to do something that you understand and you're in the middle of, and so it's authentic. And what we realized was, as we had conversations and then got brave and started having guests on and getting celebrities on, which was crazy, was that there is so much more to life than just talking about your kids. Now, I love my kids, adore my kids. They're all over the world, and I'm off to see them tomorrow in the States. But they're not everything about my life now that they've left the nest. I'm so busy with other things, and I really, really enjoy meeting other women. But I don't just want to say, oh, so got kids? How old are they? Where do they go to university? There's more, I want those conversations to be, I don't know, about politics or gut health or modern trafficking or anything. And I get like such a surge of energy and interest and breadth of conversation from just like, I don't know, being more than a mum, being a woman in my 50s, that it's sort of opened up it's opened up my brain to so much stuff. And I never say no unless I really want to, but I generally just try and say yes a lot more.
Yeah. Well, you've had some impressive guests on your podcast. So how did you manage to get them on your show?
So, in a very un-British-like way, I decided at a it was an American club meeting, actually, in Surrey, and Jenny Seagrove was speaking. She was absolutely lovely. She was talking about a charity that's very dear to her. And I thought at the end, I'm going to go up and ask her. What have I got to lose? I'm just going to ask her if she'll come on the podcast. And to my absolute surprise, she said, yeah, of course I will. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Thank you. That's really amazing. It was a bit of a disaster. We had to record it 3 times because Liz and I, as my previous co-host, we were just so inept that we got everything wrong, which you do on your journey of learning. And that was fun, actually. But we got Jenny. And then I thought, well, hold on. Got one name in the bag. I'm going to go after more. And I saw Anthea Turner had a new book coming out. And instead of going direct to her, I went to her publisher. And I said, oh, I'd love to come to the book signing, but I can't. But, do you think she'd like to come on our podcast? We just had Jenny Seagrove. And then we kind of built up like that. Every time I got somebody else, I would go to, usually not the agent, usually a publisher, or I would DM them and just say, oh, we've just had Jenny Seagrove and Anthea Turner. So it's like a house of cards.
Mm-hmm.
The more we had, the more it validated us. And I have to say, I would do anything for both Jenny and for Anthea. And I've kept in touch with them because... And I did find out a couple of months ago that Anthea took a pitch on us. She looked up the podcast. She realised it was teeny weeny. It was barely there. And she thought, no, I'm going to give these girls a chance to have, a guest on and talk about something and promote them. And she is a woman's woman, that one. I love her.
Yes. Well, she absolutely is. And we know that firsthand. And I think what's so nice about Anthea that you don't get with a lot of other celebs is that she only talks about brands that she genuinely believes in and genuinely buys. So it is really refreshing in this sort of day and age of the influencers to have that. But yeah, no, and
it's funny. It's funny that we've got that coincidental link, isn't it? Because I didn't know that about your brand when I met you guys and started talking to you. I didn't know Anthea had been such an influential part of your campaigns, because she does genuinely love Sarah Haran bags. So it's funny, really, brings you together.
Yeah, I know, it's a nice connection. So what's been the most rewarding part of your podcasting journey so far? Because obviously you're talking a lot about topics that mean a lot to women in midlife. So you do get a lot of feedback from them, seeing how much it's changed things for them, or what's rewarding about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as I say, it's been really varied, from gut health to menopause to grief. One of the biggest, the most comments we've had were from people when we approached a subject. No subject is off the table now, and some of those subjects can be embarrassing. I even did one about sex in midlife, and like, I was literally from here. It probably looks like it now. It's a bit bulgy, this. I was red from here to here. The entire interview was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But it was so interesting too. Talk to Kate Moyle, who's a sex therapist. And so that was really interesting. But talking to Linda Magistris, who's the head of the Good Grief Trust, about how to help people in grief and bereavement, and to not avoid saying somebody's name because they've died. It's not going to make somebody miss them more. They're already missing them, and they actually appreciate having that person still talked about, because it brings back memories and it doesn't make it worse. And giving some of that advice through the conversation that we had with Linda, I had so many emails saying, I'm going to a funeral. This has helped so much in the way that I approach the person there, or I'm going through a bereavement, and I'm so happy to hear people talk about this in a much more relevant, direct, unembarrassed way. And I suppose it is, sometimes you can avoid people, can't you, if they're in grief, because you just don't quite know what to say. But talking to Linda, I think that was a really, really good and useful episode. And that was several years ago now.
Yeah, because that's really interesting, because so much in midlife now is focused on menopause. So it's amazing to have like other topics of conversation that you can talk about, because every time you enter a new chapter, you don't know how to like navigate that chapter. And it's obviously really beneficial to have such a wide variety.
Well, Martina, you've nailed it, because there is such a lot about menopause. There's a lot of noise. Sometimes there's too much noise and people switch off.
I'm fully prepared now. At 35, I know everything I need.
I'm not a menopause expert, but I think there's more to life than menopause as well. I'm so glad that people have access to resources and information, and that's really important. But the other thing about menopause, it's kind of the perfect storm, that as your hormones are going out of control, your kids are leaving home, so you're facing an empty nest. It could be that your parents need you much more. They become kind of the child in the relationship, and you're stretched both ways. You could become adrift and feel like, what is my purpose now? What's my relationship with my partner? Do I even have anything in common? Is it just the children, or is this my forever partnership? So we talk about divorce and dating and broken hearts and all of those things. So I'm quite glad to be, jack of all trades, master of none, if you like. I don't try and be an expert in anything.
Because one that comes up quite a lot that I hear talking to our customers, and even like my mom's friends and things, is when you hit that retirement age, the women seem to like fill their days no bother, but the men don't know what to do. And then that starts to cause rifts, because they don't know how to entertain their husband, and it creates a new dynamic in the relationship because things have completely changed.
That's also true. And that's a clinical reason for that, would you believe? I did an episode with the Midlife Mentors. I've only had one man on the podcast, and I wanted to talk to him about andropause, which is the male version of menopause.
Right.
And it really does make them grumpy old men. It really does, because that testosterone, as it depletes, they do become like arses sometimes. Really stubborn and really annoying. And there's a reason for that. I mean, actually, men can become very lonely, and it's very difficult as they approach the end of their careers and want to know, what are they going to do next? What's for them? When they lose their tribe at work, who are they friends with now? Do they still have a connection with their partner? And they miss their kids as much as we do. So it was really interesting just to hear a different perspective.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of comments in the chat right now with everyone agreeing about that one. So
Yeah.
I think probably
My husband must have that.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can get testosterone replacement therapy. In fact, I would recommend that for women. Testosterone, that's good.
Oh,
Good stuff.
so is there anything sort of challenging or not so fun about the podcast world that you've come across?
Absolutely. And I don't think I've met anybody who does social media that doesn't say, I hate social media, but it is a part of marketing now. It's a part, as you obviously know, Martina, that it's a part of raising awareness about your brand and your podcast and the other things that you do. But it is honestly boring, negative, curated, exhausting. So I don't like that bit. And sometimes I do take a break from it because I just think I go down that kind of horrible rabbit hole of, oh, I've only had a few likes. People hate me. People think I'm, all that in a bag of chips, or I get this imposter syndrome. And it's just like, stop it. You're a grown-ass woman. Don't be like that. But I've spoken to so many people, yoga teachers, TV presenters, authors. We're all the same. We're all like, I know we have to do it, but my goodness, this is really dull.
Yeah, no, I can completely agree with you there. There's parts of it that aren't as nice. I mean, it's great when you get the community aspect of it and you can share information and see what everyone's up to, but there are some certain rabbit holes that you can go down where it's not so fun. So sympathise with you there. So who would your dream guest be? You've obviously had quite impressive guests on, but if you could have anyone who's alive, who would it be?
Well, I did already have Dame Judy Dench, and she would have been absolutely on my list there. But it's not particularly original, but I would love to have Michelle Obama. Because I think she's been in the thick of things in politics. She rises above things. She's so articulate. She's so interesting. Her book was amazing. She has everybody loves Michelle Obama. And I just think she would be fascinating. And I would love to see her as president. I don't think she's ever going to do that because she's made, and I kind of admire her for that actually, that she's so open about, no, that's not for me, even though she must have literally hundreds of thousands of people begging her to step into the ring, but she knows what she wants to do. She is a strong, confident woman.
Yeah, she certainly is. And I think all our ladies agree, because when we launched our Michelle Tote, we actually put it to a vote who's the most inspirational woman, and we'll name this bag after her, and it came out on top that it was her.
Burst my bubble. It's not after me then.
I thought it was
obviously
after you actually, really.
Yeah. So how is Dame Judy Dench? That must have been a sort of pinch me moment having her in your podcast.
It really was. And you know what? It just shows, when you meet lovely women in your life, and I'm not talking about her, I was talking about Jenny Seagrove. When you meet lovely women, celebrities, experts, friends, women at the school gate, keep them in your life, because I continued a relationship with Jenny and supported her in her charity, which is Main Chance Sanctuary. She looks after these horses. She's a phenomenal woman. She really is. And recently widowed as well. Well, she wasn't married, but her long-term partner, Bill Kenwright, died last year suddenly. But I kept in touch with her and I said, look, thank you for coming on the podcast. If there's anything I can ever do for you, let me know, won't you? Because I'd like to help. So she invited me to a charity thing. You had to pay for it at Main Chance, and it was meeting Dame Judy and her daughter Finty Williams and her grandson Sam, and they went viral during COVID with their TikTok videos of Judy and Sam dancing. I mean, he's got several million followers himself. But I tell you what, meeting her was everything you wanted it to be and more. So she was on a stage, and the second she opened her mouth and spoke, it was just that unmistakable, textured, amazing voice. And she's a raconteur. She's got an incredible memory. She can't see so very well now. She's got macular degeneration. And so she can't really read scripts very much. But what she can do is remember in incredible detail Shakespeare or scripts that she's done before. And she stood up at the end and she gave probably a 5 to 7 minute performance of Shakespeare that she had just remembered. And she was amazing. I'll never forget it. And then bearing in mind, she's what was she, 79, 80 now? I forget her age, but then she came to a little reception afterwards. So she'd been on stage for an hour and something. She came back to a smaller number of people, like there am I with my elbows, and I'd already asked Jenny for permission if I could record with her, and I got permission because I wouldn't be rude. And she stood and walked around the room and giggled and spoke to everybody. I mean, she must have been so tired, but she was just a professional to the end, didn't sit down once, and she gave everybody her time. Gorgeous, gorgeous lady, just as you'd hope.
Oh, that's lovely. So kind of going back to the midlife side of things, is there any challenges that you face as a woman in midlife, and how has that shaped your work and the themes that you have in your podcast?
Yes, and actually, it was fairly early on, maybe in the first year, I did decided to do an episode about late diagnosis ADHD. And I was doing it really because my daughter had just been diagnosed in her early 20s. And I got an expert on, and we were talking. As we were talking, like, hello, gosh, I do all those things too. And I had never thought about it for a second, that the reason I missed a Robbie Williams concert back in the 1990s, 2000s was, all these things. I've missed pantos and concerts. I'm legendary for losing things and getting the wrong day and things. Oh, double booking like tonight. I do it all the time. And I thought, oh my gosh, apple and tree, that is absolutely amazing. So I decided last year to go for a proper diagnosis to see if I did have ADHD, wasn't jumping on the trend, as a lot of people think. Like, sure enough, I went through a lot of different questionnaires. My husband had to fill it in. He has got the patience of an absolute saint. My mother, my 90-year-old mother, had to fill one in and talk about my childhood and what I did when I was a kid. And sure enough, I have ADHD. And that, I'd say that's what both a challenge and a superpower now, because I know why I'm creative. I know why I have a 1,000 ideas a minute. Then I'm also so lazy, I'm horizontal, do nothing. And I will leave things to the very, very last second and just busk stuff. I can be really, I don't know, in the moment sometimes, or I'll wake at 3 a.m. and I'll have a dozen ideas and be writing intros. And I know Meghan Markle got a lot of flack for this, and she should get a lot of flack for a lot of things, but for this, not. She used to email people at 4 or 5 in the morning, and the staff used to get really annoyed. But I email. That doesn't mean I want anyone to do anything at 4 or 5 in the morning. I just need it out of my head so that it's done and I can go back to sleep again. So I understand that sometimes the way I work is quite intense. And I wouldn't say I chased Liz off, who used to be my co-host, but I am intense sometimes because I want a really good outcome. I want a really good product. And we're still friends, by the way. We met for a cup of tea and we went to the theatre just last week. So we're still friends.
I know, I'm the same, but my brain just functions at 5 in the morning. In fact, a lot of the customers will email back and say, Martina, do you ever sleep? I'm like, I just like the mornings. At night, I'm no use, but in the morning, like, that's when your brain's functioning. And it's interesting you saying about the ADHD, because I think a lot more people are getting diagnosed with it now, and it's giving them that clarity, whereas before there was kind of a bit of a stigma, but now there's not at all, because people can actually then get on with their lives in a more manageable way, and they can recognize why they do the things that they do. So it's so good that people are talking about it more and giving it the platform.
I have to watch. So here's a challenge for me, interviewing people. I'm like a Labrador, right? Oh, I've got a question. I really want to ask it. But I'm like, no, Michelle, take a breath. It's not actually about you. It's about the guest. And so I've had to really learn to actively listen and not interrupt. So that's good for me. But learning that I've got ADHD has been kind of positive. It's given me permission to make mistakes and not beat myself up about it. But it's also made me think, right, this is a superpower and a skill. I've got to harness it and be glad I've got it, because places like GCHQ and MI6 actively recruit people with ADHD. And of course, 30 years ago, neurodiversity was, noticing what ADHD was. People weren't being diagnosed. It was that classic, the boys jumping all over the sofas and breaking windows. Little girls mask it. And people weren't going for diagnoses at all. So it's not surprising now that a lot of people in their 40s and 50s are maybe having their kids diagnosed with ADHD and recognizing in themselves that they've got something very similar.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. So what would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions about women in midlife?
Well, I would say probably a generation ago, it would be that you get to the point where your children leave the nest and everybody thinks, job done. Now what? I'm kind of done. The women are done. They've done the caring. They're finished. Their purpose has been completed and they are finished. And maybe they'll start playing bingo and, getting pensions. Now, I think there's a massive mindset shift that come the day that in your 40s or your 50s, that you've got more time, perhaps because your children have left, or you're in a career that you've decided, I've done that enough. I know how to do that. But what I've got is skills that I could apply in a real passion project. I really do believe in the Japanese notion of second spring, which is what they call the part after menopause. And, menopause doesn't last forever. One of my biggest downloaded episodes was with Jenny Eclair, all about postmenopause, about how you can be quirky, how you can say no, how you can lose your filters and be funny and follow your passions and take up crochet or whatever you want to do. And I think I love that about midlife now. And one of my mottos is that you're halfway through, not halfway done. So I really do think that, maybe you've put things on the side for a little bit, or you put yourself last on the ladder. Now, given whatever restrictions are in your life, time for a bit of self-care, time for a bit of enthusiastic hobbying, going back into a career, starting an Etsy shop, maybe, doing nutrition. You wanted to start a podcast. Yeah, don't start a podcast because I've got the midlife podcast.
So what's a typical day then in the life of a podcaster? Because I think people don't realise how much work's probably involved with all the editing and the marketing and everything else. So what's a typical day?
There is so much. I do generally try and keep recordings now to a Monday and Tuesday because it was becoming quite overwhelming. But you can bet that if Michelle Obama was free, I would do any day of the week. Of course. But I do try and have some sort of structure that Mondays and Tuesdays are good for recording. And I record in the sort of studio shed at the bottom of my garden. So it also has to be when the neighbours haven't got gardeners coming and there's leaf blowing. So I take that into consideration too. And there is a lot of social media planning and talent booking. So I'm constantly going after people with ideas and like, oh, is so-and-so free? I see they've got a book out. Would they like to come? So it's chasing up all that, lots of emails and so on, website updating. It has been such a learning curve. I cannot tell you from the beginning to now, learning about graphic design on Canva and SEO. God, I hate SEO.
Oh, the worst.
All that stuff. And then I'm actually finding that I don't get out and see people enough. I need to control things. I think they're getting a little bit out of control for me. Well, one thing I learned was we were with a podcast production agent place at the beginning because our editing skills were kind of rubbish. And they said, yeah, you've got to do a podcast episode every week. That's the way to do it. Episode every week of the year, every day. Like, oh my God. Okay. Right. We'll do that. 50 episodes. We can come up with that somehow. That was way too much. That doesn't fit in with my life. It really doesn't. So I said, no, I'm not doing that. And also, we'll leave you if you don't like that. So we left them. And I said, the most I could possibly do is 30 episodes a year because I'd rather do quality over quantity. I don't just want to come out with waffle. I want to come out with something that's useful and meaningful and entertaining and educational. Like, that's been good. But now I'm thinking maybe 10.
Yeah, no, quality over quantity is that makes a lot of sense. So how did the dynamic kind of change? Because obviously it used to be both yourself and Liz, and you were the duo interviewing, and then she's gone on to do other things now. So how's that been?
Okay. Did I mention I got ADHD and I'm really hard to work with?
Well,
so I love myself because I know when to stop. No, not that. It's kind of freeing to me because it has opened up my schedule so much more. I don't have to like, oh, Liz, are you free on this Tuesday? And we'll do this, and we're going to do the prep work for it. If I don't do the prep work, then it's only me that is in trouble. It's me. I can't get mad at anybody else. And like I say, I really do like to I do a lot of prep. I read the whole book. I don't just pretend I do. I read if there's a book coming out. I squirrel around the internet to get all the facts so that I can find some interesting questions. Do you know what? I've scooped this week twice. Can't believe it. So season 8 came out on Tuesday with Sue Cleaver from Coronation Street. And I had recorded with her back in May, and she'd given me some really juicy stuff, like about how she met her birth mother. And it was this crazy coincidence. And it's really extraordinary. Like, but this is all embargoed until the episode that goes out at the end of September. Darn it, if the Daily Mail didn't scoop me by a day. And then Lorraine had her on today and they were talking about it. But I respected the embargo and I didn't do anything with it. But yeah, talking to her was just really interesting. It really gave goosebumps, actually. It's incredible the way that she has lived through a number of coincidences that led her to the place that she is now.
And if you get any other guests lined up that we should be listening out for?
Well, if you've heard of the Instagram poet Donna Ashworth.
Yes.
Yeah, she's on next Tuesday, and she was everything you would want her to be. She was sunny and yellow and present and authentic, and she does read a poem as well at the end, so I'm really proud of that. She's a super lovely lady, and she gave a lot of strength to she's got a book called Growing Brave, and that is definitely one of my themes for this season, is about being brave in midlife and sort of saying yes, going through the doors of opportunity. What have you got to lose? Just give it a go. And her words can really help. Very, very inspirational. So she's on next Tuesday. And Dame Prue Leaf. Yes.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, it's really cool. So I'm recording with her in October. And I'm really, really proud of getting her, because that wasn't easy.
Yes, I know.
Down. Yes, she is.
Yeah, because she does a lot with Kettlewell, so
she does. She does.
Oh, nice. In the Bake Off. Oh, that was cool. Yeah. So what do you do to unwind, Michelle? You seem like a busy lady. How do you relax?
So I'm such a TV binger. Are you watching Your Mum, My Dad at the moment? My Mum, Your Dad.
I'm watching Married at First Sight. So that's probably enough trash for one time. Yeah.
My Mum, Your Dad, not trash. It's brilliant. This is how people should date, over a cup of tea in the garden on pillows. And all the music that's coming through from the 80s and 90s. So the other thing that I do is Brooklands Radio. I'm a presenter on there. And that was the door that opened after Liz left. Weirdly, the same week I was asked to be a presenter on there. And now I have my own show whenever I kind of want to, but I'm on every Tuesday afternoon. And can I tell you, I used to go there and think, I am literally going to vomit before this starts. I was so scared. And now, in my little ADHD way, it's such a dopamine chaser. So I will get there, and like last Monday I did a show and I thought, I'm just going to completely indulge this whole My Mum, Your Dad vibe with the playlist and go for Adam Ant and Paul Young and Lisa Stansfield and, all those great ones. Well, you're too young. You probably, Sarah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do. Yeah. You got to play all the records you really liked.
Yeah, that was really, really fun.
Cool. Yeah.
So in answer to your question, what do I do to relax? I either just lie prostrate and drink wine and eat chocolate and watch TV, or I play a lot of tennis.
Oh, wow. Nice balance there. So if anyone's got any questions for Michelle, please pop them in the chat. But
yeah, because I've got some champagne to go to.
Yes, so we will let you go. But you can just tell us what you love about your bag. You've got
my bag.
You've got a couple. Pink Dahlia.
Yes, I've vived it up here with like a slightly sparkly thing. I wasn't going to bring this one. I was going to bring one of my smaller, the small one that goes under the ivy. I was going to bring that pink one tonight, but I couldn't fit the tripod in it. And so this is what I always have in my bag, is a charger and a cable.
Yes, yeah, handy. You always need that.
Yeah,
and a lip balm. Yeah. So
and then,
I've already packed my bag for tomorrow for my flight, and I always use the Michelle tote, and I have a nice little travel organizer inside there. It's all ready to go, all organized, and it looks really good. And I love, actually, I mean, I know you're all enthusiasts, and I've joined the obsession of the Sarah Haran bag club. What I love about traveling and packing for travel is it's like packing your Barbie stuff, isn't it? It's like, oh, what outfit shall I have? So I'll have that color, that tassel, that handle, that, you know, and it's just so fun. So I have completely embraced the whole thing, and I do stalk you all on Bags of Joy Club, and I look in envy at some of your closets, the way you've got them organized with about 1,000 bags in there, and I think that's my goal one day.
Yeah, I think it's ours too for our stockroom. We look at the customers' organisation, we're like, wow, that's good.
Yeah, better than ours.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, we'll let you get off to the champagne. We don't want to hold you back any longer, but thank you.
I know,
so,
and I'm
so
going to miss the unveiling. I'm going to miss
know.
seeing all these gorgeous bags coming out. So, can I see this back later?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we'll
definitely.
send you a link. It'll be in the group.
And if anybody does want to ask me questions, or they want to follow me on Instagram, because we all know that's a trial, it's Michelle Ford _TWC, and you can get the podcast on Spotify, Apple, Alexa, I think most people got one, CarPlay, or through my website, twowomenchatting.com.
We'll put it out on the group anyway afterwards, part of this, so
Yeah.
everyone can catch up with it. Because I'm
So
sure.
am I looking decent, or am I showing too much?
No, you look fabulous.
Fiddling it.
Amazing. Yes.
It's all right when I'm standing up, I think.
Yeah, and just don't look down. You'll be fine. Everyone else is looking at you that way, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, the podcast is definitely worth a listen, ladies. There's some really, really good, interesting episodes on there. So do download it on Spotify or however you get your podcasts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right then, Michelle, thank you so much.
Enjoy the bags, ladies, and
We'll
thank
see you
you
very
so much
soon.
for having me. See you soon.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, right. I've lost the page now. Where am I? Here we go. Well, that was very interesting.
That was amazing.
Yeah, no, really good. Right. So, will I share my screen and I can do my presentation? We can chat all about Q4 and what's to come and all the things that are going to be for Christmas.
You feel quite exhausted now, though, Michelle. She's very.
I know. Yeah, I can see how she's good at interviewing people.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to share my screen here. Okie dokie. So, slideshow. Right, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes. Right, so here we are. We are in Q4. We've got a brand new cover photo with some of our lovely, lovely customers featured here. Some pictures of Kate on the boat and some nice Bags of Joy meetups, which is cool. So, welcome to Q4. It's the season to sparkle.
Martina's favourite time of year.
It is, yeah. I'm all about the Christmas. Yeah. So, do you want to go through the highlights?
Yes. So, yeah. Well, big one was we had our VIP party on the boat over 2 days, which was great fun. The best thing was that nobody drowned. So I was eternally pleased about that. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to jump in. And Martina got all the practice she ever needed to do colours of everybody. Yes, yes. So that was really cool. And of course, we used the boat to do the 3 bags YouTube series, which was interesting. Didn't turn out to be as scary as I thought it was going to be, given the level of women that we had there. They talk a lot. Whew, they can talk. But it was interesting just to hear it from another side. And for me, doing the series is all about finding out from what other people keep in their bags. I'm eternally nosy. And hearing it from people like that, I thought was good fun. So we will do more of that sort of thing. And yeah, Adja and all these girls, they really can talk. Thank God that's not my full-time job, I have to tell you. We launched Luna, a satchel. So that was a bit of an update from Iris, a bit more contemporary bag. So really enjoyed that. And we made it sort of half moon shape. So she's doing really well. So like that one. Color consultations for everyone, as we mentioned. So as part of being able to offer sort of more rounded service, quite by accident, so many of you and customers ask us a lot about what bag will go with me, what's my coloring, and I like this and I like that. We decided to get Martina and Leslie trained up in the art of style consultation and color. So it's been great fun watching them do that. And it also means that I feel that we are giving the right sort of advice rather than things that we were not 100% sure about. So that's been a great adventure, and we will do more of that and make much more use of those skills. We had our new lockets, and they had I think everyone's now got their other lockets back out. We had a few minor issues. Doesn't just shows you how annoying things can be. You test and trial things for months, and still production can make a little accident. And there was a bit of a needle in a haystack moment in that I think we had about 15 of them that just weren't quite right. And I was very unhappy about the fact that these 15 might be somewhere in the population. So we did the right thing and called them all back and started all over again, because I just did not want there to be any issues. So thank you for everyone's patience there. And I do love the lockets. They are so cool to be able to put something like that on your bag, not necessarily around your neck. I just think that's a nice thing, and it kind of plays to all the life's moments. And the one thing I always think is you've always got your bag with you wherever you go. Especially us lot, we're very unlikely to be seen with a plastic bag from M&S, or not carrying a really nice bag that we all love. So to be able to put our family photographs in that as well felt great. We got Clover back, so always like to take a bit of a break from things. So that was nice to bring her back. And we had some new other leathers. We're always on the lookout for that. And of course, for many months, we've been working on just improving our website, just making it a little bit more polished. And there's more work to be done there, so we'll just keep doing that. But it's hopefully everyone's noticed. We've not made a big song and dance about it. For me, a website is one of these living, breathing things. It's never done, even though you think it's done. So I never sort of just go, oh, well, now we'll just do a big website launch. Just don't do that. We'll just squeeze things in, and just gives you a surprise. So if you've not noticed, we've got a nice new club room. That's all looking a lot nicer. And other bits and pieces that will be appearing. So do have a look this evening.
Okay.
There you go.
So our complimentary bag is our metallic jasmine. So we've got 4 beautiful, beautiful shades. We've got metallic red, metallic purple, metallic navy, and our lovely metallic soft gold. She does, of course, come with her matching crossbody strap. She's the perfect bag to dress up or down for the party season, or if you want to dress her down. She's great as well, just to add a bit of sparkle to your outfit without being too overboard. And we're also going to add in our python jasmines as well, so the pink python and the blue python, so that there is an option for everybody. But we love them, and jasmine has been by far one of, well, probably the most, along with Dahlia, popular bag in the range for the last sort of 4 or 5 years. So it made total sense to do a sort of Christmas special on these ones. So we hope you all love them, because they are really beautiful colours. The photo does not do it justice, but we'll be sharing more content in the group over the next few days to show you these in more detail. And the complimentary gift, we have 4 stunning joyful jewels, or we also have our silk scarves. So there's absolutely plenty to choose from. The joyful jewels are just like the most perfect accessory for those Christmas nights out or cocktail soirees or anything that you're doing. They just really elevate the look of your bag. And the scarves, again, we'll need to get Linda Benton on to do another tutorial on how to tie those perfect bows, but they are gorgeous. And do you know what? If you don't want them for yourself, they are such a great Christmas gift. So imagine just giving somebody that in a little box, a little gift box. It's really special. They're all silk. All the prints are completely exclusively designed for us, so you cannot get them anywhere else. They're really beautiful. So that is our complimentary bag and gifts.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we've listened to you, as we always do. We've got more metallic colours coming through the range. Obviously, everyone loved titanium. So we are introducing a brand new metallic gold, which you'll have seen in the new Mias. I think people wanted something a little bit shinier, so we've gone and found one for you. So that's now called the Shimmer Metallic Gold. We had a more neutral leather trim in our webbing straps, where before we used to maybe do the leather trims in the webbing strap in, say, like black or red or navy. We're now just doing it in metallics. So all our webbing straps come with either metallic silver or metallic gold. Straps have been a bone of contention for quite some time now. So we are adding more adjustable straps into the range. So any new jasmines that now launch from October will have an adjustable strap. That doesn't include the complimentary bags, but the new sort of plain ones going forward will have thin adjustable straps. And the new dahlias.
Yeah, and you'll have a bit of a mix as we sort of transition.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of a transition period, but we'll make it very clear by splitting up the products as to what ones have the new straps and what ones don't. But the new dahlias that come in as well, you'll now have the full length adjustable strap with them. Obviously, we've already got them in the Mias and the Jessicas and the Lunas, so we are making quite an effort to transition into these adjustable straps, because we know that it will help you all, because everybody's different shapes and sizes and heights. So hopefully that will be a solution moving forward. So just bear with us as we transition the range into this. And as you can see in the picture, we've now got a little circle slider on the straps rather than the square. So we just really like that design update, because it really kind of matches the eyelet of the bag, which is obviously our signature thing. So it all just looks really, really sort of finished and luxury. So hopefully you agree that it's a nice design update for us as well. And we also brought the natural chagrin back, which has been extremely popular. So we will maybe do some more of that soon as well. Okay. Coming soon. We've got a few different collections coming this quarter. We've kind of given you a sneak peek at what they are, but we do have the full collections launching over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So our Wicked Croc collection, we have the Wicked musical launching, well, not musical, the cinema musical, no, the cinema film. Yes. What am I talking about? Yes, the film. Inspired by the musical is launching. So it was quite serendipitous that we found this beautiful, beautiful leather that is a gorgeous metallic green. It just, honestly, the picture again doesn't do it justice. It just glistens in the light. It is stunning. The Millie pouch sold out very quickly. That's the only piece we've launched so far. But like I say, we do have a full collection in this leather coming. So watch out, because I think she is going to be a very, very popular. Python Glamour. We did have a touch of this leather a few years back, if you can cast your mind back to when we did the Blossom and the Flap range, and it was really popular. So when Sarah and I were out in Turkey in the summer there, we were delighted when we found this leather, because we knew how much everybody loved it previously. So again, it's all about the allure of luxury evening wear. It's very sophisticated luxury, but it's got that sort of fun edge to it as well. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this collection, because it's really, really beautiful. It looks stunning with both silver and gold hardware. So there really is colours in that for everybody to pick from. And again, a full collection coming soon. And of course, our Cosmic collection, where the wonders of the galaxy and the Milky Way and the stars. So yeah, this one's really special. We've obviously had Petrolescent in the past, which kind of inspired us to purchase this leather, because we just thought, we know how much you will love those sort of iridescent-y, petrolescent-y textures. So we think this one is going to be really popular. We've got it in black and we've got it in white. So again, depending on your preference, there really will be something for everybody. So again, that will be coming very soon. And just because we want to spoil you absolutely rotten, we've also got a suede collection coming. So it's going to be quite a small collection, but we do have some beautiful suede pieces coming. We're going to create a little capsule collection of this. We've kind of worked quite hard to align it with the seasons, so spring, summer, autumn, winter, and making sure that we've got a full look for each of the seasons in the suede. Especially people that shop with Kettlewell, we do know how much you guys love that, so hopefully this will tick a lot of the boxes. We've not had suede for a little while now, so we thought it was a really good time to reintroduce it to the range, and we think there's definitely a place for it, especially in the new season coming up. And then, yes, we will have lots of new arrivals in our best-selling bags, our best-selling accessories. We've got new dahlias, jasmines, florences, ivies, clovers, bows, accessories launching. So there'll be more detail on the coming soon page that you can explore. And of course, we will have fun along the way. It wouldn't be a Christmas quarter without a Martina mystery box. So we'll have a couple of them launching with never seen it before products. We'll have special Christmas accessories. You loved the Christmas baubles last year. We're going to bring them back in new leathers, and a few more things that we will keep quiet about now, but you know, we love a surprise, so watch this space. And then Sarah can tell you about our new platform.
Our maybe platform.
Yeah.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. This
Yeah.
time it seemed to be a little bit more organized. So second time round, you know, second comings and all that, as Michelle was saying. After the disaster of our first expedition on this, we've now found another company and had to go back to base camp. But we do believe that by the end of the month, we should have this working. And they are somewhat more professional, somewhat more sorted. And the whole idea really is to enable you guys to have a platform where you can empty your wardrobes without feeling too much guilt, and put it into the pre-loved section. And you'll be able to do the taking all of your existing products. You can photograph them, pop them on. We've only got so much photography from the past that we can add in, but you guys, and it all works. We've been doing quite a bit of testing on that. So we will put it alongside the swap shop. So that gives you two avenues to use. And the idea is that it's a VIP service only to start with. And we'll think about if we need to expand it, but it is purely as a benefit to you guys. You'll be able to manage your wardrobes and sell things on, and get vouchers, and then you'll be able to use that to self-fund your obsession. Is what I'm hoping. So that will be a bit of fun as well, because you'll also be able to help each other with wish lists. So we'll have all of that too. So just bear with us. We are getting our beta tests in a week or so. And I just want to make sure I've done all of the behind the scenes stuff. So I did that before though. So, you know, one can never tell. But yes, it's really important for us to be able to provide that and to give you the fun that you'll enjoy whenever you want. And also, I'm very, very conscious of all of the stuff that goes on Vinted and everything. So this will be much more secure, because you'll be trading with each other and you'll know where it's come from, and there'll be less worries about whether it's a scam or any of this sort of stuff. So hopefully that will at least make that a little bit easier for everybody. So very key, even though the last lot let us down, it was very key for us to find somebody else, because I do think it's the right thing to do. And it's nice for everybody else to be able to love something that you guys have loved as well. So
yeah, so we'll hopefully have that up and running by the end of October. Bear with us, like Sarah says, as we get the last few bits together, and we'll absolutely be sharing a lot more information and detail near the time. So we'll answer any questions then. But I think that leaves us at the end of our beautiful presentation. If anybody's got any questions or feedback, by all means pop it in the chat or pop yourself off mute and we can fire through some questions quickly if anyone does have any.
7 new messages.
7 new messages. Can't see. I can't see them. Am I missing something? Do you have
No.
a date for the Black Patent Mock Croc Dahlia? We're having a bit of a delay with the mock crocs just because it was sourcing the leather. So they're going to be a bit later on. So once we know, we will share that with you.
Well,
Getting some love for the new adjustable strap. That's good. Metallics, how about, we do have a chocolate jasmine coming. Can't remember the exact shade of the suede, but I think there's a nice rust colour in there that you'll like. So we do have some of that coming. The complimentary jasmine is the same metallic navy as the Millie pouch. Yes, it is. Yep.
yes, so matches always important.
Yes. Fiona's saying she's seen the bags in the flesh. They're gorgeous. Yes, honestly, the metallic red, so good. It's so nice. That's my favourite, I think. When can we order the comps? We will send you an email once we finish this Zoom event about 7:45. It will go live on the website. You can order them then. Glad everyone's had fun.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah.
Nice to see everybody. So
It is
thank
nice to
you
see
for doing that. Yeah. And I thought Michelle was very bouncy. She's always good.
She is
No,
good
I
fun.
want to think, oh, that's fine. You good, Tanya? You got your locket? Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm glad that that's all sorted, and then we'll be able to put the rest of them back on the website. Now that we've done that, because I didn't want them to be on the website and then have any danger of anything going wrong. So I was just like, take them all back. And poor old Amanda has spent hours, let me tell you, doing all the pictures all over again. So she's been an absolute gem doing that and putting up with all of the toing and froing of it. So yeah, got to get these things right.
Yeah, spend is the same, £650 for a jasmine or £350 for a tassel or a scarf. Yeah, everyone's excited. That's good. Good.
Yes, that's all good fun, and we'll have a few more things that we've put things into the club room as well. There's a little events calendar as well now, so we're trying to get ourselves sorted and get a bit more organized. So yeah, so we can we can get ahead of ourselves too.
Yeah, do check out the new website and let us know what you think. We've spent many hours updating it all and trying to make it more user-friendly and make more information available to you all. So hopefully it helps when you're online. But do let us know if there's anything we're missing, because we'll absolutely do our best to get that on.
Oh yes, thank you. What's coming soon. So the way we've organised the Let's Coming Soon, for those of you who might have noticed, so with the website, we've now got the a section, and on Fridays you'll always see the exclusives are there, and so they'll stay there for the week, and then we've got everything as it moves through the quarter. We're removing it from the weekly and putting it into the whole quarter. So you can then see everything in one place. And then each week we just add the new stuff and then just move it through. So it just makes it a bit more cohesive and a bit easier to find things and look at things. So hopefully that's a bit more helpful. And then once the Coming Soon is open, when Martina does that in a wee while, that's all stuff that's there. As Martina says, she's not putting everything, because otherwise we won't have any surprises, and we all like surprises. So that just makes it a little bit more exciting if you don't know everything in advance, because otherwise life's a bit boring, isn't it? So I thought we'd do that. And you know where we are if you've got any questions. Oh yes, and thank you, Penny, about my jumper. Yes, there we go. Stephen managed to get a little bit. It's not quite, that's the wrong colour for me apparently, but apparently it's really in at the moment. Every time magazine I open, it's there. So that's quite good too. So yeah, so lots of fun to come, and soon Martina will be jumping around in a Santa suit. So
I will be.
There we go.
Okay. Well, if nobody's got any more questions, I'll go and get this email sent out so everybody can reserve their complimentary bag. So yeah, as soon as you've reserved your bag, any spend you make towards it will count to Q4. So Q4 has officially started. So don't worry about that. As long as you reserve your bag first and use the same email address, all good.
Yeah, and you should be glad to notice that Martina didn't put in her usual slide.
I've given up.
She tells everybody what to do for about an hour. So yeah, that's all gone.
Yeah.
She obviously trusts you all now. So
Oh.
do not break the trust, ladies. Otherwise, we'll have to have it back in January for a little bit of a refresh. So there we go.
Oh, right. It was so lovely to see everybody.
And we'll see you all soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.